WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland. Classrooms that are too hot or too cold, sometimes triggering schools to close for the day. We cover it every school year, and with a new one about to start, WRAL Investigates looked into the equipment behind heating and air conditioning issues in Wake County schools. Despite calls for newer, more efficient technology, WRAL's Destinee Patterson joins me to walk through why that isn't a simple fix. Destinee, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So over the summer, we have reported that the district is replacing some boilers and chillers, so we know there is some efforts being made here. Why is the heating and cooling of schools such an issue in the district?
Right, and we've reported a lot on the issues that the school is dealing with when it comes to their heating and air conditioning systems. We've reported on the lack of staffing, and it's not just the fact that they can't hire enough people, it's hiring the right kind of people, and also being able to expand the number of staff positions that they're even filling for. So it's a staffing issue, it's old equipment, and it's also just not keeping up with the systems as they get older. So the equipment is getting old, but they're also allowing those problems to kind of sit by the wayside, knowing that they need repairs, knowing that they probably need to be replaced. And now they're starting to make a bigger effort towards addressing that.
Okay. And I mean, in a practical sense, how does this affect students on a daily basis when they're in the classroom?
I mean, we've heard anecdotes from both students and teachers.
There's so many times where the temperature in one class will be really hot. The temperature in the class will be really cold.
Sometimes it means moving classrooms around, relocating the students for the rest of the day. And sometimes it means dismissing early altogether. And then in some cases, we actually saw last school year where schools were having to add on additional school days in order to make up those instructional hours because of the HVAC issues and having to dismiss early.
Yeah. So definitely having impacts on kids getting the instruction they need. It's not just sweating or having to add on an extra sweater from what we're hearing. What are some alternative heating and cooling systems that could be more efficient from the district in your reporting?
What's been really interesting is we've seen this outcry from students themselves, and there's a small group of students and they want to see the school transition to newer technology that is more cost effective, but also more economically friendly. And their goal is, again, to make sure that it's safer for the environment, but also the idea is, yes, they would be spending more on upfront costs, but in the long run, they'd be able to save a lot of money. So one of the things that they suggested was an electric heat pump. And essentially what it does is instead of it generating the heat on its own, it's taking heat from other places, whether it's the ground or the air, and it is moving that heat. So that's what makes it more effective, and, it takes less work to do that.
Okay, let's take a quick break right there, and we'll be right back. Destinee, when you went and talked to the district about some of these different heating and cooling systems that could be used, what did the district say about how effective or how possible it is to use those new technologies in the district?
So as I mentioned earlier, there is this student movement, and the district actually met with those students, was willing to hear them out, but essentially said that it is just not practical at this point. They're hesitant about making such a big leap because they're dealing with so many current issues.
Although we may put one in today, it could be obsolete in 10 years and not supported by the manufacturer. Until we can get additional staff to handle the current day problems, we're kind of hesitant to move forward with anything too out of the box.
And that was the main point that the district, the director of facilities, really pushed forward, was the fact that, we're dealing with so much right now that ideally, yes, we do eventually want to upgrade our systems, but at this exact moment, we have bigger fish to fry. And that's kind of the tight spot that the district has been in all along, because it's being able to keep up, but also being able to get ahead.
Mm-hmm. So how does the district plan to address this, as they kind of hope to be able to use those technologies? What's their plan to get out of this rut that they're in right now?
Right. The director of facilities says that they are considering ways to integrate newer technology, but it won't happen right away. They've discussed ways to possibly use heat pumps. And there is at least one school where they say that they have identified using, again, like this heat pump system, ground source heat pump system at a future school. But right now it seems like it's still in a very preliminary stage. And the director of facilities, he stopped short of actually telling us which campus that would actually be. So I guess we all have to kind of stay tuned.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Destinee. We appreciate your reporting on this. And thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download and for making us part of your morning routine. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. It's a daily email with Triangle news, events, and headlines to help you get ready for the day. You can sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.